Day blue, ah, fighter of the night blue, champion of the sun. Welcome back, everybody, and in this episode we're going to start working on blood magic. Now, I've started to clear out an area up here, and here's where we're going to be placing our altar. The altar is going to start off small, but as we go along and progress, it will get larger, eventually filling up a square the size of all these, where these torches are placed out. So it will get pretty large eventually, but it starts out as just a single block. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We've added some day blooms here. We're going to need better mana gen, as this has been going for a while, and you can see this pool is not very filled up at all. So we're going to look into more mana gen possibly later on as well. And there's that node right there. We could start with some Thaumcraft here. Don't have to make the wand right away. You can go ahead and craft the thermometer. The thermometer is pretty easy to build. Let's get some glass here. It's just a single piece of glass, 2 gold, and any 2 crystals. It doesn't have to be the order shards from Thaumcraft. Any crystals will work. And that'll get us this thermometer. With this, we can actually start examining things. We can't study the wood just yet. We can study dirt, though. Should be able to study dirt. There you go. We've got 2 points for Terra, and what this does is all the things you research, you will get points, and you use those points later on to research the different items that are in Thaumcraft. So we have this. We'll carry it around with us when I go mining, and we will see what we get to. Get some research points going for later. This is a pretty good node. It's a bit difficult to see. Let's see if I can get a better way to read those numbers. It has 52 air and 47 earth, so it's a decently sized node. It's only got 2 aspects, so it won't fill up everything for us, but that is a good node for our air and earth needs. And I don't think there's any others in the immediate vicinity, but we could take a look around later. Let's get back to working on that blood altar. So the altar, the first block, is we're going to need a furnace. Take this furnace, and I've smelted up some stone, so we're going to need some of that. 2 gold, and I'm going to grab 2 diamonds. We only need 1 for the altar itself. I believe, yes, that's it. So that gets us our blood altar. And you know, we're going to need another item to go with this, because we cannot fill our blood altar unless we have a sacrificial knife. It's going to take another gold and iron and 5 glass. And let's see. Gold, iron, 5 glass. Just like this. There we go. Now let's go place this altar down. Here we go. There. So this is where our altar is going to sit, and it's raised up like this for basically future planning. This is tier 2. This is a tier 1 altar right now. And the tier 2 runes will go right here, and then you'll have a space, and the tier 3 altar will start on this ground, and then the tier 4 and 5 will go out that way. So this way we don't have to constantly move it, and it'll look pretty neat once we get going. Now the altar does nothing right here on its own. It has nothing in it. We want to turn this into our first blood orb, but it's not going to do anything because there's nothing inside. So to start, we're going to just have to sacrifice our own health, our blood, to this altar. And you can see we click it, it puts a pool in, takes 1 heart away. And I believe it's 200 life points. You get 200 life points for each time you do this without upgrades. There are upgrades you can get to get more life points for each time you do this. And you can see it looks like it disappeared. It actually just drained inside the altar. But if we were to, let's say we came over here. Yeah, I clicked it twice, so there should be, nope, there's nothing in there. You have to be right next to the altar when you do this. Otherwise, you're just sacrificing your life for nothing. So the first thing we're going to need is, that's 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 uses in the altar. We should have 1,000 life points in here. Let's eat some bread, keep our life up. And 1,000 life points infused into a diamond will get us our first blood orb. This lets us start storing life points on our soul network. The soul network is basically the power system for, I thought that would have worked. You can see these particles here mean that it's trying to, whatever it's trying to do is not working because there is no more life points in the altar. And now that it's stopped, you can see it's completely drained. So all those life points we just put in have been wasted. I thought it was, oh, it's 2,000 life points. Okay. So we goofed up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty close to death. If I clicked it again, you can kill yourself doing this. You don't want to kill yourself doing this. That would be me dead, all my items on the floor, and I'd be back over there and have to come back out. So now we have enough points. We can go ahead and drain it into the diamond, and we should get our blood orb. And as I was saying, the blood orb we can link to ourselves and start filling up for the soul network. And the soul network is where all your power comes in blood magic. It's used to power everything you do in this mod. If it's not powered directly from the altar itself, then it needs to come from your soul network. And the only way to power directly from the altar itself is if you're placing an item in the altar. So this should only take a moment. Why did... okay. You know what, we'll just click it a couple more times. Use up our life. Get this diamond going. Oh. So there's a jungle on the south. That'll be good for later. Okay, so we got our blood orb, and you can see right now it just says weak blood orb stores raw life essence. If we right click with it, you'll see it took 1 heart away, but now it also says current donor Tron. So now we have this bound to our soul network. And every time we right click with this, we still lose a heart, but it's not actually filling up the altar. It'll work no matter where we use it. We can take away, and it just puts it directly in our soul network. The capacity for this orb is, I'm not actually quite sure, but it's very low. Each orb you go up, there is an orb for every tier of altar you get to. There are 5 different orbs. There's the 5th one. No, that's the creative one. This is the 5th one. And the largest one can hold 10 million life points. The 4th one holds 1 million. I believe this one only holds 10,000, the one we currently have. It might even be less. Actually, it probably is less. But, so we've got our blood orb. And now what are we going to do? Well, it would be nice to know how much life points we actually have stored in both the altar and our network. So the next thing we're going to build is this divination sigil right here. It takes a blank slate, 7 glass, and any of the blood orbs. So let's go ahead and grab our 7 glass, and we don't have the slate on us. Let's go ahead and grab a crafting table so we don't have to run back over here. Let's see if we can sleep for the night and get morning. We don't want mobs creeping up on us while we're over there. Let's see. There's 3 people. Okay, Dean's oh, he logged off. Well, I guess that works. We got Dean's, Ben, and myself on at the moment. Hey, we got ourselves a carrot. That's great. We didn't have carrots. We could still use a potato. We'll have to find one eventually. Let's come back over here, and we will place this. We'll place it right there. Now, there we go. Blank slates. Takes a stone and 1,000 life points in the altar. We have some stone on us. Let us make sure that we have enough life points. And we're going to put a stone in the altar. I'll give it a moment and it should transfer. It transfers, I think it actually said on here. Yeah, it drains 5 life points a tick. So that's 20 a second. We got our blank slate. Let's go ahead and make our first sigil. Now this sigil is very simple. You just right click on the altar and it tells you the altar has 592 life points. If you right click anywhere else, if you're not looking at an altar, it'll tell you your current essence is 600 life points. So that's how much we have from our blood orb. If we use the blood orb again, now we have 800. Keep our food up, keep our health up. So we do this a bunch. Now the altar has almost 2,000. And you can see it even says its capacity here, 10,000 life points. It will not store more than that. So if it was full, we could still damage ourselves, but it wouldn't go into the altar. And it's a pretty neat effect also. When the more full it gets, that's not going to do anything. The more full it gets, the larger this pool goes up to the top. So now we've got 3,000 life points in there. And our health is too low to keep doing this. Now that's great, but what can we do so far? Well, that's chemistry. I don't think we can even get into that until we get a bigger altar. We can make a lava crystal. What the lava crystal does is it acts as a heat source. You can replace your coal. That might be pretty neat, but we don't have any obsidian, and we don't have a lot of diamonds, so we're not going to build that just yet. We can use this to create blood runes, which are what we need to get to tier 2. Rune of the orb, we don't need that. So, oh, we could make a alchemic chemistry set, but again, we don't have obsidian, so we cannot work on this really just yet. We'd have to go get some obsidian, which would mean making a diamond pick, and I'd rather not use diamonds to get a pick into a pick. I'd rather actually make a mana steel pick. It's made from iron and mana from Botania. It never breaks as long as you have mana on your person, which we'll have to get into. And yeah, so we're going to go that route with that. So we're not going to have obsidian just yet. But what we can do is we can go ahead and start working on just getting straight to tier 2 on this. Because there's not a whole lot you could do with tier 1, as you can see. We could do the chemistry, but even that is limited. You'll need higher tier orbs, as you can see in the chemistry set. This one takes the orb right here, but this is the stuff you can do. Like, I could actually get obsidian doing this. That might not be a bad idea to do. We'll see. But what we're going to actually work on, The other thing, we can't actually make this chemistry set because it's going to require a brewing standard. We haven't been to the Nether, so that is out. Right. So the first thing we're going to need to do if we're going to upgrade this to tier 2 is we need 8 blood runes. They have to go around the altar on this level where the dirt is. So to create these blood runes, we need 2 blank slates and then 6 stone. And since we need 8 of these, that means we're going to need 16 blank slates. And since each blank slate takes 1,000 life points, that's going to be 16,000 life points. So since this is going to take a little while, I will come back once I have created the runes, and then we'll start to craft them and upgrade this to tier 2. Okay, so we've got our start to placing these runes down, and we have all the slates we need. Let's go ahead and finish off the last 3. There we go. Now, and you can see on the divination sigil that the altar's current tier is tier 1. As soon as we get these 3 down, it should change tier 2. Alright, so now we're at tier 2. It doesn't change the capacity. Capacity is only changed by adding capacity runes. And these get quite expensive on iron. Each one of these raises the capacity by 1,500 life points. I think it's 15%. It actually might be 20% in this version. I'm not sure if the version we have has the increased one. Okay, this is the 20% one because we have a new rune. This is the rune of superior capacity. Not sure how we make those. That's quite new. So we'll have to look into that. But eventually we're going to want to upgrade this. Now that we have a tier 2 altar though, we can actually create the tier 2 orb. And that's going to take an emerald and 5,000 life points. So let's go ahead and get some life points in here. Puts us at 2,600. Alright, and we do happen to have 1 emerald that I found while mining earlier. It's actually pretty lucky. Go ahead and grab this emerald. And we're going to get all the way to tier 2 in this episode. Almost there. So that's 7 more hearts and we'll be at 5,000 life points. Yep, should be good. While we were waiting for our health to regenerate, let's go ahead and come down here and see how the mana pool's doing. Still very low. So we're going to have to do something about our mana generation, right? We only generate mana during the daytime right now, so maybe a little bit of nighttime generation, though we usually sleep through the nights. Perhaps, let's see what else we can do here. Keep getting our health back up. We could make this endo flame. That might be a good idea. We'll need a red mana and a brown mana petal. Those are slightly different from just the mystical ones. You actually just throw a mana petal in the mana pool, and it will use a bit of the mana to create the flower. That's why day blooms are the first ones you have to start with. They don't have mana petals in the recipe. So let's go ahead and look at making an endo flame. Oh. Okay, we don't have any brown petals. We have 1 brown petal. I used my only brown flower. Wow, okay. So, looking around, I don't see any brown flowers around here. So let's go ahead and finish off this blood orb first. That should be enough. Alright. Go ahead and let that start up. Just make sure nothing happens here. Alright. That'll work. So let's go ahead and search around our island and see if we can find a brown flower. Here we go. There's actually one right over here. That is good. Alright, so we'll take this brown one. We'll grab you two. We're only going to make one of these for right now, though. The way the endo flame works is you drop a fuel source on top of it. Coal, charcoal, wood. I think it'll work with wood. I'm going to need one of those, and I believe it was a light gray. Yeah, one light gray. Okay. So, here we got those. Got the 2 red petals, 2 brown petals. Grab a seed. And we're going to have to come over here. Hopefully this is enough mana. There's our 1 red and the 1 brown. Perfect. Doesn't take much for the petals themselves. So let's throw in these petals here. And there we go. We got our endo flame. Let's keep this full. So now we got our endo flame. We're going to set it down here and feed it a coal. There we go. It's going to eat it up. You see it start producing the little particles there. And it will start filling this. You can see this is actually filling up and shooting quite quickly now. Much faster than these day blooms were working. So let's go ahead and drop a couple more. It'll only eat one at a time, so you don't want to just drop a stack and walk away. They'll actually end up despawning before it eats them all. But it will slowly eat through those, and it shouldn't have a problem with 2 there. Perhaps we'll look into a way of putting a timer on here, so it'll just drop 1 every minute or so, and that will get us some faster mana generation. If we come back up here, our orb is done. Excellent. So now we have Apprentice Orb. Right click, get it bound to us. There we go. And what can we do with this orb now? There's more recipes in the chemistry set. Like we can make these binding agents. There is new reagents we can create. Finally, with these. This is where you start getting the stuff that's really possible with alchemy. For sigils, we have the void sigil. We can still make the runes. We can make air sigil. That's going to take a gas tier though. This lets you propel yourself in a direction, basically allowing you to fly as long as you constantly use it. And you have the life points. We don't have many life points, so it wouldn't work very well for us. I think it takes 50 each time you use it. And you don't want to run out of life points and then use something, because then it'll start actually taking your health, and if you use it at the wrong time, you'll end up killing yourself with whatever sigil you're using. We can make a sigil of the fast miner. That might be interesting. This sigil actually, makes your mining faster. We can make runes of sacrifice, runes of self-sacrifice. I don't remember what this one does. Look into that. Sigil of the Green Grove. This makes everything grow much faster around you. This works on sugarcane. It works on basically everything that grows. It's better than bone meal. What else we got? Oh, we can start with spells. We can craft a spell table. Possibly look into that in an upcoming episode. But the two runes we're looking at here is the Rune of Sacrifice and the Rune of Self-Sacrifice. We'd like to make some of these self-sacrifice ones. That would make our sacrificial knife give us more life points when we use it. The other thing is that Rune of Sacrifice. The Rune of Sacrifice doesn't work when we sacrifice ourselves. It works when you sacrifice other things. And we haven't actually gotten into that yet because you needed a tier 2 altar in order to create the item for that. So let's go ahead and look at that item. You can see it right here. It's the Dagger of Sacrifice. You see it only does 1 attack damage, so it's not very good outside of the sacrificing. However, you just drop an iron sword in, 3,000 life points, you get this. It's a 1-hit kill for anything that will be sacrificed as long as they're next to the altar. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves an iron sword. It's about to be dark, so this will be perfect. We'll kill a mob. It can work on mobs, it can work on passive mobs. Let's get ourselves 2 iron. Here's our sword. Hopefully we have enough life points already in the altar. If not, I'll just have to sacrifice a bit. We'll get our dagger and we're going to kill some zombies that come over here. And we're at 1,000. 2,800. So we can go. We can go ahead and start that up. And there's our 3,000. So let that go. Should only take a moment. In the meantime, we'll see. We got a spider. We got some zombies. Skeleton. So they're getting ready to come after us. How's this doing? Almost done. Yeah. And it's going to be time to start killing other things to get our blood. Alright. Let's see if we can't drag some of these guys over this way. Hello. Yeah, there you go. Come on, zombies. Come on, zombies. Come get my brain. Come get it. Come get it. Smack. Smack. And there we go. 1,000 life points on the altar. You get 500 life points for each hostile mob you kill. I believe passive mobs only give you 200. Just like if you use the sacrifice. And just to show that it's not a 1-hit kill, let's go ahead and grab this. Here comes a zombie and a spider. Chase me. Chase me, chase me. Come on. Wait, oh, there he is. See, I'll smack this guy over here. See, 2 damage, 2 damage. Come on up here. Get sacrificed. And there we go. 2,000 life points on the altar. Let's go ahead and sleep so we can get daytime. And we will be back. So I think that's a pretty good wrapping up point for here. We got all the way up to a tier 2 altar. And we created an endo flame for faster mana generation down here. Go ahead and take a quick look at that before wrapping up. It's already eaten through the coal. Let's go ahead and give it another. There we go. You see, there's a small increase in the pool. So that's working. And next episode, we'll probably go ahead and start getting some mana steel going. I'd like to get some armor, and I'd like to make a mana steel pick before this pick runs out, and probably a sword as well. So tune in next time, and we'll be back for more Botania. See you next time.